the dip in the floor where you get in the car. That was a Hudson origination that gave us a low center of gravity, very good cornering ability. And of course, they did very, very well in the early NASCAR series because of that. Doc Hudson from the old Disney movie Cars was a play on that particular car. They even had a couple of unique style cars. The Italia, kind of a dream car that came out of Hudson. Of course, ultimately they would join Nash to become American Motors. And they joined Nash and Hudson, and we'll talk a little bit about Nash later. In 1954, joined forces to become American Motors. The last true Hudson, or car with a Hudson nameplate, came out in 1957. And they really were rebadged Nashes. So unlike the Packard Baker, this was called a hash, a Hudson and Nash combination. And now I'm going to kind of digress a little bit because we just did this presentation at the Roebling Museum in Trenton. And the Roebling Museum, the Roebling family was involved with the Mercer automobile, which is probably the most famous of the New Jersey-built automobiles. And it really got its origination from a fellow named William Walter, who owned a American chocolate manufacturing company in New York, and it made candy vending machines. And he owned the first car on Staten Island, And he wasn't very happy with it, so he decided to build his own car. And this is William Walter's first car. And he went into production with a car in 1902 called the Waltomobile. Almost immediately changed it to Walter because it was much easier to pronounce. Anyway, he decided to expand his business, they were being built at his chocolate manufacturing company, and he moved it to Trenton. He put his factory into an old brewery, the Consolidated Brewery, which was owned by friends of the Roebling family, and also was a friend of Walter. And he moved his production line to Trenton, New Jersey. About 1909, the Walter company failed. The Roeblings bought it out and built the Mercer automobile. Ferdinand Mercer was the president, Charlie Mercer was the vice president, and Washington Roebling II was in charge of production. And Washington Roebling II was kind of a playboy guy, and he liked fast cars. So with the help of a fellow named Findlay Robertson Porter, they created the first real sports car, if you will, the Raceabout. And here's the Mercer Raceabout, sold for $2,250. If you put that in today's money, it's like buying a Corvette. So essentially what this is buying a Corvette. And it was a low production car, very fast. In fact, they even raced them in Indianapolis. They drove one from Trenton to Indianapolis, took the lights and paraphernalia off it, raced the car, put the stuff back on, and drove home. Kind of an amazing. I think they came in third too, which was pretty amazing back then. Anyway, the Mercer could beat about any car on the road, but it couldn't beat fate. Washington Roebling II happened to be on the Titanic when it went down. Ferdinand died in 1917. Charlie died in 1918. So the Roebling family sold the company, and the